talking about the aerial services between our countries, we want to exploit this potential. Here in Africa, we have this challenge of linking our countries through air services. Countries in Africa that for somebody to travel to a neighboring country, first you have to go to Europe to come back to Africa. And sometimes people have to fly to Doha to come back to Africa. So even for us to come here, we had to go first to Addis Ababa, Ethiopia, to come back to Kigali. Or we could have traveled through Johannesburg in South Africa to come to Kigali. So I spoke about this yesterday with the President Paul Kagame, that there is a need for us to have this aerial link between Maputo, Kigali, Kigali, Maputo.
Yes, here we are. That is the President of Mozambique, His Excellency President Daniel Chapo, talking about the issue of aerial service and connectivity across the continent of Africa. As you heard, my dear lovely family, it is difficult for African in Mozambique, in Maputo, to travel to Kigali, Rwanda. There's no direct flight from Kigali to Maputo. So President Chapo and President Paul Kagame has agreed to put or to start a direct flight from Kigali to Maputo. If you look at this continent, there's no link between African capitals. Right now, there's no direct flights from Banjul to Dakar in Senegal, Dakar to Ouagadougou, Ouagadougou to Kinshasa. If you are in Dakar, you want to go to Kinshasa in Democratic Republic of Congo, first of all, you have to go to Paris, or you have to go to Doha, or you have to go to Dubai. There's no direct flight among African cities, among African capital cities. So, but if you look, each nation in the continent of Africa, they have airline. We have Ethiopia Airline, that looks a giant, Kenya Airways. We have Tanzania Airways. We have South Africa Airways. We have Nigeria Airways. We have Air Burkina. Almost every nation has airline. But still leaders see there's difficulties. Why don't our leaders say, let us, if you have two planes, let us bring together these planes. If you have maybe one plane, let us also bring together. Let us connect our countries. Let us having connectivity from maybe Kigali to Kampala, and then Kampala to Dar es Salaam, Dar es Salaam to Nairobi, Nairobi to Addis Ababa. Let us having those connectivity. Right now, if you are in southern part of the continent, maybe you are in Botswana, Gaborone, you are in Namibia, Windhoek, you want to go to Ouagadougou in Burkina, or you want to go in Bamako in Mali, you have to go outside of the continent. You must go out of this continent. You have to go whether in Qatar, Doha, or you have to go to Dubai, in Arab Emirates, or sometimes you have to go to Paris for you to move across the continent of Africa. So just imagine, those are leaders who are facing those challenges, and those who are business men and women. What about normal citizens? These farmers, these small entrepreneurs, can they afford to travel from Maputo to do business in Dakar in Senegal, to do business in Niamey in Niger? Can they afford? No. And yet we are saying we are in Africa continental free trade areas. We want to achieve Africa continental free trade areas. How can we achieve Africa continental free trade areas while we don't have infrastructure that are linking or linking Africans? And that's why we have been addressing the issue of infrastructures, calling our brothers and sisters in the diaspora that you have something to offer to us. You have ideas, you have knowledge, you have skills. You can come and collaborate with Africans who are here in the continent of Africa and starting building our own infrastructures that will connect Africans across this continent. Sometimes you wonder that Africans, there are some countries in Africa that are suffering with a shortage of food, but the same food are being produced in the neighboring country. For instance, you find South Africa lack or have a shortage of rice, but South Africa is importing rice from Asian country, while in the neighboring country, in SADC region, Tanzania, sometimes Zambia, Zimbabwe, they are producing enough rice, but South Africa cannot import it from those countries. Sometimes it is because of political issues, and also sometimes it is about the issue of infrastructure. There's no infrastructure that are linking the South African cities or South African country. I mean Zambia, Tanzania, as well as South Africa. So it took a lot of time to import food from Zambia, maybe to South Africa. But it is very easy to import food from Russia to South Africa. Why? Because Russia, they have infrastructure. They have this big plane, cargo plane that can carry tons of wheat, tons of grain to South Africa. So even Africans or African nations, they need to think about how we can connect our cities, our nations. Without doing so, we are going nowhere. This continental free trade area will benefit the rest of the world, will not benefit Africans. And that's why these people are very clever. They introduced something called globalization, free market. So someone who have capital can come and invest, can distribute food, can make a lot of money, while our mother and our fathers, grand and grands who are in the village cannot afford to shift or to take their products from their farms to the market. So what is important for us, the people of Africa, is to start building infrastructures, having this connectivity. We have that capacity. And one thing that is important for us is to build railway, high-speed railway. I saw the Alliance of Sahel States have came with the idea of building high-speed railway that will connect the three cities, Bamako, Mali, Ouagadougou in Burkina, and also Niamey in Niger. Of course, it is going to extend to Abidjan in Cote d'Ivoire. So we need such kind of infrastructure that are linking these cities. We have seen also in East Africa this electric railway that is started from Dar es Salaam, that is going through to Burundi, of course, Kenya there, Mombasa, through Nairobi to Kampala, Uganda, to Democratic Republic of Congo. The one who started in Tanzania will go to Burundi, Bujumbura, then to Kigali, Rwanda, then to Democratic Republic of Congo. But the problem that these things is not moving faster. It is because of political egos, political instability. So if these countries, they know what they want, they can build by collaborating. As an individual country, it is difficult. So we need countries to collaborate in building infrastructures that will connect their cities. And we need to have a tool or a body that will make these countries accountable. That you, Rwanda, you have to build maybe certain kilometers of SGR. You, Tanzania, you have to build certain kilometers of SGR by in this time, and you have to build without excuse. If we can have such kind of organ or body that can guide these countries to build infrastructures, Africa can prosper. Africa can move in the right direction. But because of political egos, political instability, it is difficult. And one thing that, of course, I've been saying this, there's something that is dividing Africa, and this will make Africa not to achieve. The issue of elections. These people who brought us democracy, they separated us from having, we differ in conducting elections. So these elections are dividing political leaders. For instance, there are some leaders who are going to election next year. So from now, they are thinking about next election. There are those who are going maybe after next year, 2027, they will be in election. So these leaders, they are not speaking one language. They don't have a common vision. Why? Because there are those who are thinking about elections. There are those who are thinking about whether they will come back or not. There are those also who are going to end their terms. So when you tell them that let us go and build the railway or infrastructures for the benefit of Africans, they will say, you know, I don't have money. Next year, I'm going to have elections, so it needs a lot of money for campaigning and something like that. So leaders in Africa are not speaking in one voice. We don't have a common mission. We don't have a common vision. We are so divided through politics. We have divided in languages. We have divided in religions and something like that, borders. So we need Africans to speak with one voice. That's why we have been addressing the issue of unity, that we need to unite, we need to come together, we need to speak with one voice as Africans. Unity is the only salvation for this continent. We can speak with President Chapo, saying that we need connectivity from Kigali to Maputo. When he leave power or another leader can cut it, we don't have a permanent. Today you see our resources are being flowing to Europe. Why? Europeans created infrastructures that is an outlet from the mainland. There's no way you can have minerals and you are not going to say to them. Let me tell you, Africans, we need to start thinking, creating something that will make and force Africans to start building their own infrastructures. And this is possible if we can have a mind of adding value. If we can start to think about value addition, we can build infrastructures from Democratic Republic of Congo to our countries where we are processing. We can, the same the colonial masters did. But in all families, I'm just trying to add my thought to, maybe I'm wrong, but it is the truth that Africa, we need to have air connectivity, to have railway connectivity, road connectivity, so that Africans can trade among themselves. This inter-Africa trade can come into reality if we have a proper and good infrastructures. Otherwise, we'll come here for 100 years and nothing will happen. But the rest of the world will benefit. They're coming to trade, to shift goods with drones. They're going far. They will use these cargo plane. So Africans, we don't have that capacity. The only salvation for us is to build railway, to build good road. Of course, road is not fast. We need to build railway. That is very important. That is very cheap. So families, friends, fellow Africans, let us not speak for too long. I'm very happy to share this to you at this moment, and it's my hope that you can add something from what you heard from President Chapo, and also from what you heard from me. You can correct me where I made mistake, but all in all is to share our thought to find best solutions for our challenges. We believe in African solutions for African problems. After that, let me say, have a nice time. See you next time. Thank you.
Thank you, Africa. Mama Africa, oh, yeah. You make African great. Thank you, Africa. Thank you, Africa.